Have you ever worked with someone who is brilliant, like super smart, technically gifted, knows all of the right answers, but emotionally, they are just flatlined? You know the type. They can build a flawless spreadsheet, automate half of the team's tasks, and quote AI trends like it's their sport, right? But put them in a room with people and suddenly, poof, zero awareness, zero empathy, zero connection, right? Yeah, we've all been exposed to those super smart people that just don't have any presence. Those that are brilliant, yet cannot communicate what they know. Those that are brilliant and show up in this goofy way that just doesn't really earn credibility. Now, here's why I'm bringing this up. Because in a world where everyone is obsessing over AI replacing jobs, automating workflows, and taking over the world by 2030, which is only, 5 years from now, the one thing that AI can't replace is emotional intelligence. And if you're in a leadership role, or you want to be, that's the game changer, right? I mean, how many conversations have you been with, or even meetings, or someone presenting that you know who's going to change the game? They might not be the smartest person in the room, but they can rule the room. They know how to run the room. So let's talk about the myth that everyone is buying into. So here's what most people are doing right now. They're racing to learn new tools, new platforms, new AI hacks. And don't get me wrong, AI is incredible and we need to do all of those things. I use it, you use it, it's not going anywhere. And the more that you know how to use it, the better off you will be overall. But, and here's the big but, there's this silent panic happening underneath it all. If AI can do everything faster, then what value do I bring? Right? What is your value? And the answer is simple. Your value is in your humanity, your emotional intelligence, and your ability to read people and lead people, not just processes. Because let's face it, people don't want to be managed, but they do want to be led. And so let's ground all of this in some data, shall we? Because there's always data and science behind everything that I talk about on this channel. Because I know some of you also like that data and like the receipts, right? So 90% of top performers score high in emotional intelligence, according to Daniel Goleman, the EQ expert. And the World Economic Forum lists emotional intelligence as one of the top skills. Yes, one of the top skills that leaders need in the age of AI. Meanwhile, a PwC global report found that 72% of business leaders, they believe AI will only create more opportunity if humans build stronger soft skills, especially emotional intelligence. So some of the power is in the soft stuff, right? In other words, AI is rising, but our emotional intelligence is still the differentiator. So what's the real difference here? Here's a simple breakdown. AI can analyze data. It can automate tasks. It can spot trends. But AI cannot read the room, build trust, lead a team through conflict, and inspire people when morale is low. Try asking AI to handle a tough conversation with an emotional employee. See how that goes. Or even reassuring a team after layoffs. Or rebuilding trust after a conflict. Yeah, that's not happening. We would love to say it. AI can maybe give us the words to use. But it's all about how we handle the room, right? It's all about the human side of things. So leadership is a human sport. It always has been, and it always will be. But AI can make us stronger at it. So let me tell you a quick story because you've probably seen this play out. A client of mine once implemented this brilliant new AI system inside their organization. On paper, it looks genius, but in practice, it became a disaster. So you may ask, why? Why, when AI has so much knowledge and give us so many tools, why would this happen, right? It's because the leader didn't communicate with empathy. There was no conversation, no reassurance, no space for concerns with the people that are working on the project, right? And it wasn't that AI that was part of or caused the stress in general, but it's the lack of the emotional intelligence in the rollout. So it's lack of explaining to the teams how they're to use it, how they should be rolling it out, and instead, they really don't have the guidance. AI is there, it can do all of this cool stuff, but how are we gonna use it to our advantage, right? So when we introduce the change with empathy, with communication, with being transparent on what we're gonna use, how we're gonna use it, why this makes sense, that actual human connection, right? Resistance disappeared. Same initiative, same technology, but different emotional approach. That is the power of emotional intelligence, is knowing your team and knowing how to work with your team and knowing how to bring tools to the picture, right? So here's what I want for you to hear. If you want to stand out, if you want to lead, if you want to thrive in the age of AI, your emotional intelligence and learning how to find it, find your voice, is your competitive advantage. The leaders who win moving forward are the ones who can stay calm under pressure. They can navigate uncomfortable conversations. They can connect with people on a human level and make others feel seen, supported, and safe. Because the leadership of the future isn't about knowing everything. It's not always all about the facts, right? Sometimes I know there's a common saying that says, I don't know exactly what they said, but I know how it made me feel, right? So it kind of comes back to that. It's about leading humans through a world that's changing faster than ever. And they need your help. They need your leadership, and they need your support. So let me leave you with this. AI may change how we work, but emotional intelligence changes how we lead. And if you want to grow your emotional intelligence so that you can lead with confidence, especially when the pressure is high, make sure you're subscribed here because I'm sharing practical tools and tips that you can start using immediately. And if this resonated with you, drop a comment with one word, AI or EQ, and which one do you think wins in the leadership space. So please subscribe, please share if this video is helpful to others, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.